First tonight, gun violence affects almost every community in the United States. And here in Dayton, the NAACP is pushing back by joining forces with Miami Valley Police and community members to make a difference in the new year. Melena Brown spoke with the NAACP and city council members about their goals for the upcoming year. She's live now. Melena, what was the overall message today?
Adam, the leaders of the Dayton NAACP and community members were really united in voice to say that gun violence must stop, and we really need to work together to end it. One of the vice presidents for the Dayton NAACP says that Dayton should be a representation to those around us.
If we are to be the gem city and the shining star as a model throughout the Miami Valley and, of course, across the country, we must not kill where we live, but love and uplift.
So, Melena, what actions do they plan on implementing in 2023 then?
Adam, they really emphasize getting our youth involved in some healthy, constructive environments. So promoting community organizations and clubs is a really top priority for them. Now, coming up at 6:30, I do have some emotional testimony from the officers that have to respond to those gun violence situations. Back to you, Adam.
All right, Melena, thanks. Well, you might have noticed it was quite warm out. At least it felt that way. 45 a few weeks ago might have felt cold, but after the week we've had, Natalie,
right,
this
it feels
felt
nice.
Balmy. It felt almost tropical.
Right. You could head out into short sleeves, feel kind of nice out there.
Yeah.
The sun really helped too.
Huge difference.
Beautiful sunset. Now that the sun is below the horizon, it's getting a little darker, but we did have a beautiful sunset this evening, so I'd love to see any pictures if you have them. Chime them in, head to our website, Dayton247now.com. Click chime in. I'd love to see those sunset pictures. So it is a pretty mild evening, at least compared to where we have been. 42 is where we're sitting right now. It feels like 37, a little bit of a wind chill, but we are above freezing, and all of us are sitting above freezing at this point too. 41 in Springfield, 42 in Dayton. Compared to this time yesterday, this is a big change. 15 degrees warmer in Middletown, 13 degrees warmer in Dayton. And through the overnight hours, no refreeze expected. We're going to stay above freezing, upper 30s overnight. Clouds do start to build in of the rest of the week's forecast coming up.
Natalie, thanks. The death toll from last weekend's historic winter storm, it's still rising tonight. Erie County, New York, which contains the city of Buffalo, now reporting 37 deaths. Now, Erie County Executive Mark Palancran says 3 of those deaths were from an EMS delay. 17 were found outside. 4 were from cardiac events related to shoveling or blowing snow. 9 were from having no heat in their homes, and 4 were in a vehicle. There are still multiple unidentified bodies.
It's been said that this storm was the worst that the city of Buffalo has seen in over 50 years, perhaps the worst storm that Buffalo has had since storms have been recorded.
Now, local officials there say members of the National Guard are going door to door to conduct wellness checks and potentially recover more bodies. Police departments are still working through hundreds of 911 calls. Every street in Erie County will have at least one lane open by 7 o'clock tonight, but the driving ban is still in effect and won't be lifted today. Crews are continuing to tow abandoned cars and clear the roads. The death toll is expected to rise even higher as those stranded vehicles are dug out. And this is a live look now at FlightAware's tracking dashboard now, as airports across the country are still seeing issues. You can see nearly 5,000 flights were canceled today. There were more than 15,000 delays. The majority of those, Southwest Airlines. You can see that airline canceled 61% of its flights today. That's more than 2,500. And now the CEO of Southwest apologizing. Bob Jordan says he's sorry. Both customers and employees have struggled over the past few days. He points to the winter storm as the main issue, but the Airlines Pilots Association says other major airlines, they have not canceled as many flights with the same weather.
But I'm truly sorry. Here's why this giant puzzle is taking us several days to solve. Southwest is the largest carrier in the country, not only because of our value and our values, but because we build our flight schedule around communities, not hubs.
They haven't given us tools, as Mr. Jordan alluded to as well, to do our jobs, to complete the flights or schedule the crews. This was very much self-perpetuated because of the massive reassignments that the company does.
Some stranded passengers say they likely won't get to their final destination until after the new year. The Department of Transportation has opened a federal investigation into Southwest for what it calls, quote, an unacceptable rate of cancellations and delays, and reports a lack of prompt customer service.
Their system really has completely melted down, and I've made clear that our department will be holding them accountable for their responsibilities to customers, both to get them through this situation and to make sure that this can't happen again.
Now, Buttigieg says he will use every tool at his department's disposal if necessary. Now, Southwest passengers, they are frustrated all across the country. That includes at John Glenn Columbus International Airport. And as Caroline Cohen shows us, stranded travelers are finding it hard to get answers.
Originally was supposed to fly out back to Texas on Monday.
Passengers are past the point of just a holiday headache when it comes to Southwest.
Frustrated, stressful, definitely, not having any answers.
This is a full-on flightmare.
Trying to text my boss and my coworker who's watching my cat, just letting them know that, still stranded.
Allison Wirt is from Columbus, but has been trying to get back to her home in Texas all week. She couldn't get on the Southwest app and had no luck with a phone call to the airline.
I couldn't get a hold of anyone, probably called half a dozen times yesterday, couldn't even get through to the automated system.
She came directly to the desk agent Wednesday, hoping for some answer.
Flying out at 4:15, hopefully.
Wirt certainly not alone. Tony Madison and his family spent the night driving home from Chicago, where they were rerouted. He came to the airport in hopes of finding his 4 bags.
The point is, I need my bags. There's some things in there that I need.
No luck. Hundreds of bags sit in baggage claim at John Glenn, waiting to be claimed.
And that was Caroline Cohen reporting. Now, after all these Southwest cancellations, some affected passengers found other airlines were posting last-minute flights to their destinations, but they cost thousands of dollars. And to make matters worse, Southwest does not have agreements with other carriers to allow the rebooking of passengers on different airlines. So United Airlines, Delta, and American Airlines, they are taking action to try and help Southwest customers get home. They're putting price caps on flights to and from select cities. Those price caps vary by location and run through Saturday. Now, there's not a specific dollar amount listed for that cap. The Biden administration says it will require a negative COVID test from all travelers from China. Now, it would have to be within 2 days or less of the flight. It starts on January 5th, and this will apply to all travelers from that country, regardless of nationality. This comes as cases surge in China after the nation abruptly ended its zero COVID restrictions. A spokesperson from China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says any measures the U.S. takes should be scientific, ensure the safe movement of people between countries, and keep the global supply chain stable. There's no sign of a travel ban. Well, back here in Ohio now, the woman accused of abducting 5-month-old Columbus twins and sparking a statewide Amber Alert is getting prepared to go back to court. Nala Jackson has a hearing in Indianapolis tomorrow, but tonight we are learning she was accused of stealing another car before these abductions. Now, those twins, you may remember, were abducted last Monday, but a case out of Dublin on December 2nd shows us multiple people called 911 saying Jackson caused 2 crashes, stole a woman's car to leave the scene, and then became erratic.
The Volkswagen hit me. I got out of the car to help the driver. The driver stole my car and proceeded into the intersection of Riverside and Post Road and got T-boned.
Okay.
With my car.
Okay, are you involved in this accident?
I am not, but I just witnessed it, and the lady just got out of the car, and she's literally gone crazy.
With no operable car, multiple witnesses told dispatchers Jackson was injured and started walking down the freeway. The report says medics took her to a hospital to get checked out. She was issued a citation driving with a suspended license, failure to stop, reckless operations, and running a red light. Now, she was scheduled for her first court appearance December 16th, but didn't show. The arrest warrant was then issued for her. The Thomas twins were taken in their mom's stolen car 3 days later. A live look now in Vandalia at the Dayton Airport Expo Center because the annual Operation Santa Sleigh is about to kick off. First responders are spreading holiday cheer to people that might not otherwise feel the spirit by visiting children's hospitals and veterans hospitals in a procession of emergency vehicles. With their blue and red lights activated, it is all happening simultaneously with 7 other cities throughout Ohio. Now, this usually happens the day before Christmas Eve, but that winter storm delayed plans until today. This is a partnership between the Montgomery County Law Enforcement Memorial Association, Light Ohio Blue, Ohio State Highway Patrol, and other similar groups. Here in the Gem City, the procession will end at Dayton Children's. We'll bring you all of that video tonight at 10 and 11. Well, inflation is on the minds of many this past year, but what will prices look like in the new year? We'll take a look at how likely a recession really is. Also, today marks 4 years since Paul Whelan was arrested in Russia. What the Secretary of State is saying as we reach that grim milestone.
Plus, I'm tracking our next weather maker, which brings rain back into the area. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Cold weather earlier this week froze this small waterfall in Arkansas. The shade is slowing the melting process, but with highs in the 60s today, it'll be hard to stop. In California, where an atmospheric river is bringing lots of moisture, an ephemeral or temporary waterfall formed near Redding. With more rain on the way for the region, we can expect to see more of these in the coming days.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
This year, Americans were up against the highest inflation in 4 decades, and many want to know if their budgets will get a break in the new year. But when it comes to the cost of essentials like food, gas, and housing, forecasts, they are mixed.
When that stuff happens, I definitely got to really start budgeting my money, cooking at home, stuff like that.
So Gas Buddy, the USDA, and the Federal Reserve all have different outlooks on what their respective industries' prices will look like in the new year. Coming up at 6:30 over on Fox 45, we hear their predictions, plus what economists and federal officials say about the likelihood of a recession in the new year. Live look at the U.S. Capitol building now, where the House has now banned TikTok from their official government devices. Lawmakers and staff members who have the app on a House mobile device, they have to uninstall it. An internal notice announcing the change identified TikTok as, quote, high risk to users due to a number of security risks. Separately, the U.S. government is expected to soon ban TikTok from all federal devices. That change is part of a $1.7 trillion government funding bill awaiting the president's signature. Today marks 4 years since former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan was arrested in Moscow. And Secretary of State Antony Blinken is again vowing to bring him home. Whelan was accused of espionage and then sentenced to 16 years in Russian prison. Blinken says Whalen's detention is, quote, unacceptable, and he is renewing his promise to secure his release along with all U.S. hostages and wrongful detainees. The White House wasn't able to include Whalen in the prisoner swap earlier this month that brought home WNBA star Brittany Griner. The Biden administration has been facing some backlash for that. Live look from our Kettering Health Skycam now. A much warmer day today, full of sunshine. Kind of lifts your spirits a little bit, Natalie.
Yeah, definitely so. When it's been so cloudy and so cold, it's nice to finally get out and soak up some of that sun. Now, clouds are building back in, so tomorrow not as much sunshine, but the good news is that the mild weather is going to be sticking around with us, at least for the rest of this week. Here's a look at what's going on our satellite radar. Some high clouds, those cirrus clouds, are beginning to increase for us. Our next weather maker is off to our west. You could start to see some precipitation back off into Iowa. Now we are going to see a warm front begin to lift its way further into the area, and then showers start to develop by Friday. So tomorrow mainly cloudy, back in the 50s. By Friday, we do see rain build its way in. Plan on rain for the morning and then scattered showers throughout our Friday afternoon. Rain becomes widespread by Saturday. I'll let you know how much we're expecting coming up.
Natalie, thanks. There's new rules for 401k and individual retirement plans. It's all part of the federal spending bill in the works. The Secure 2.0 rules would waive a 10% early withdrawal penalty for people who take out up to $1,000 due to financial hardship. Now, that would start in 2024. But some financial planners warn it's not a good idea to take money out of a 401k and that families should consider all other options before resorting to withdrawing from those accounts. A story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal tonight. If you're a fan of crumble cookies, you're going to love this. The cookie chain has announced it's opening a new location in the area, this time on Old Troy Pike in Huber Heights. That's going to open January 13th, create about 70 new jobs, plus provide another dessert option. This will be Crumble's third local storefront. The other two are on Miamisburg Centerville Road in Washington Township and on North Fairfield Road in Beaver Creek. And if you'd like to read more information about those new cookie shops, we got it all at Dayton247now.com. You can find that story and others like it. Just look under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the news tab. Well, OSU, they are focused on trying to take down #1 Georgia in a few days, but that team up north keeps popping up, and it was the Buckeyes' only loss of the season, and it was a painful one. As Clay Hall shows us, the Buckeyes and fans are trying to put Michigan out of their minds.
The hurt won't go away. Neither will the questions.
Are the Buckeyes tired of hearing about Michigan? What do you think?
Yeah.
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 All right, I think we have a consensus there. We'll move on from Michigan.
The 11-1 Buckeyes have tried to limit the distractions after that 22-point shellacking.
You know, we just got that much tighter, and the last month of practice have been really great, with the whole team, offense and defense. And so definitely thought the adversity, brought us a lot closer together.
Jim Knowles has felt the wrath of Buckeye Nation for 5 explosive plays that spelled doom for the Buckeyes 1 month ago.
What is the degree of difficulty as you go from Michigan to Georgia? Any similarities? Is this a tougher test?
This is the reigning national champion, so you're talking about a bunch of guys that are going to play at the next level. You're talking about a serious program.
And to that end of refocusing his team, JT Tuimoloau spoke up.
JT gave a rousing speech right before we got into playoffs, gave me goosebumps.
And that was Clay Hall reporting. And while the countdown continues to the Peach Bowl, there's also some college basketball tonight. 2 Miami Valley teams resuming their seasons after a couple days off for Christmas. University of Dayton men's basketball hosting Duquesne with a 7 p.m. tip-off. This is the Flyers' Atlantic 10 Conference opener. They were the preseason pick to win that league several months ago. UD wanting to stay perfect at home as well. Also tonight, Wright State women, they are on the road at Northern Kentucky. The Raiders looking to add to their 1 win on the year so far, and 2 men's teams will play each other Thursday at Northern Kentucky. In addition, Ohio State women have a late game tonight at Northwestern. The Cincinnati Bengals, they have won 7 straight games, and that win streak continues. So do the Player of the Week honors. Quarterback Joe Burrow named the AFC's Offensive Player of the Week for the 3rd time this year, and the 5th time of his career. He completed a career-high 40 passes for 375 yards, 3 touchdowns Saturday, and a win at the Patriots. That took his season tally to 34 touchdowns. The Bengals will be home in Week 17 for Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. From football to the lottery, no one won the Mega Millions jackpot last night, so it's now grown to $640 million. That makes 21 straight drawings without anyone matching all 6 numbers. Now, if you win and take the cash option, it'll get you about $328 million. The next drawing is Friday night, so you still have some time to get your tickets.
Well, we had the snow earlier last week. That wintry precipitation, of course, did add to our rainfall deficit. This is our drought monitor, though, and we'll get a new update coming in tomorrow, and it will actually let us know if that snowfall, which likely did impact our drought conditions. But as the latest one, moderate drought for most of us, severe drought even for our western counties and Wayne County, Indiana. Now, the good news is we do have some more rain on top of that snow that's continuing to melt across the area. And by the end of this week, we could be looking at an additional ½ inch to maybe up to an inch of rain, with some higher totals off to the north and the west. So much needed rain heading its way in by the end of this week. And the good news is that's with those milder temperatures, too. I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up.
Natalie, thanks for just a few days out now from New Year's Eve celebrations. Do you have your plans ready? If not, we'll try to get you covered. Still had plenty of options for you to ring in 2023. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, we're coming up on the new year, and many throughout the Miami Valley, they are ready to celebrate. Alex King explains some fun options for everyone.
Some people enjoy staying home. Others like to go out to celebrate the start of the new year. Some people prefer to celebrate earlier in the day. That's me. Here at Mudlick Tap House, you can enjoy New Year's Eve with a boozy brunch. You'll need to reserve a table or grab a group of friends and book a heated igloo. For those who might prefer a later celebration to ring in the new year at midnight, there are tons of events in the area, including the Yellow Cab Tavern's New Year's Eve Silent Disco and Dayton's Ball Drop, a black tie affair at MJ's on Jefferson. A New Year's Eve Roaring 20s Gala will be held at the Marriott at the University of Dayton starting at 7 Saturday evening. You can head to the Dublin Pub, where starting at 6, there will be complimentary drinks distributed every hour to toast the new year around the globe. You can celebrate at the Boonshoff Museum starting at 9. And you can join the New Year's Eve Bash at Blind Bob's. You can expect lots of dancing once the doors open at 8. Keep in mind, it's one of the busiest nights of the year, so if a place does not require a ticket, it will more than likely have a cover charge, so definitely keep some cash on you. Back to you guys.
Keep that umbrella with you as well. We'll be tracking rainfall as we do ring in the new year. It does look like a lot of it will be on the first half of the day, but we will be tracking some showers nonetheless for our New Year's Day. But the good news is it will be mild. Temperature-wise, we're tracking 50s for both New Year's Eve and our New Year's Day. A few lingering showers early New Year's Day possible, but otherwise it does look pretty quiet for our New Year's Day with temperatures that will be well above normal for this time of the year. Here's a look at what we're expecting with our extended forecast. So once we get into those 50s, they hang out with us. Keep in mind, I do not have one temperature below freezing in these next 7 days. So the melting has started and it is going to continue. Yeah, very spring-like forecast as we head into the month of January with 60 degrees by Tuesday, another round of showers. And as you all know, this is Ohio, so enjoy it while it's here because we know it's not going to last
It'll be below
forever.
0 by the second week of January, yeah.
Right.
But at least we can finally get the kids out of the house again.
Yeah.
They've been kind of cooped up indoors for a long time.
Enjoy the day tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. That does it for us. We're over on Fox Next. We hope you join us there.